Challenges are pretty dang neat. If we as a species didn't try to push ourselves, where would we even be? Arcade games are also pretty neat too because, after all, what could possibly push you more to succeed than the ever-present fear that you have to keep paying to play? Hard games are great when they are done right? There is a reason that the phrase the Dark Souls of blank has been drilled into the floor. Excuse me, are you in the queue? Holy crap, this is the Dark Souls of social interaction. Elden Ring's DLC might be the Dark Souls of Elden Ring, but in a world where everything kind of looks like this, is it so much to ask for just a little bit of colour? Cuphead, a game which on its surface looks like a jaunty, great, colourful time, but the second you even start to scratch away at that surface, you're gonna find the Dark Souls of the games. A game so hard that one critic couldn't even beat the tutorial, and I wish that was a joke. It's not a joke. Here it is. Behold. This is the Dark Souls tutorial. Where did this even come from? Why even a Cuphead? And furthermore, what the fuck is this? Ladies and gentlemen, a great slam and then some. It's the story of Cuphead. And it's bootleg. Meet Jared and Chad, two of the most dude-broiest names belonging to the Moldenhauer brothers. But these two boys aren't out for your lunch money to shove you in a locker and get a lunch thing. Please, don't touch me, don't take my Pokemon cards again. These two boys are the founders of Studio MDHR. These boys, along with Evan Skolnick, came together in 2010 to create something special. A game that was inspired by the golden age of animation because the Moldenhauer brothers grew up on these videos thanks to their parents supplying them with VHS tapes stockpiled full of old Disney and Fleischer animations. Parents' influence, back at it again, which by the way, ladies and gents, is why I am in love with the Birdman and also his video games, and also skateboarding, actually. In Oakville, Ontario, and Regina, the brothers set to work on bringing to life their brand new idea, inspired by the success of one Super Meat Boy. The brothers had actually previously attempted to bring their idea to life in the year 2000, but there wasn't the technology to do it. I couldn't make that fit the rhyme scheme. But come 2010, the ball was rolling. Cuphead was inspired by propaganda? Whoa, this is fucking crazy. Yes, technically, sort of. It kinda. Cuphead, the character design, did take inspiration from a Japanese propaganda film from 1936. This fine young gentleman here. When I was researching this video, the actual propaganda cartoon on YouTube is just called Evil Mickey Attacks Japan. And I really wish that was the name, but I don't think that's accurate. The brothers had actually created 150 different designs for their main character before settling on Cuphead. Ow. One of them even included a kappa with a top hat, and that would have been super cute. But have you seen what kappas also look like? Premier MDR took on board Jake Clark, Tony Coculuzzi, I'm not pronouncing that right, also a Romanian developer, a Brooklyn animator, and also Ontario jazz musician name of Quingus. Dad Moldenhauer called Fleischer Studios art the magnetic north of his art style. And with a history in graphic design, him and a small team set away on using classic animation techniques such as cell animation to bring their designs to life, opting to leave the human imperfections in to contrast the perfect dude perfect animation of modern gaming. Yes, pixel perfect indeed. Though the game's frame rate is technically 60 frames per second, the animations themselves only run at the classic American standard of animation which is 24 frames per second. And in order to streamline the production process, these cell animations were then digitized, dropped into Photoshop, and watercolored, all to further the aesthetic of classic animation. This is important, remember it for later, please. The big game DHR already knew that gameplay was going to take precedence over story. However, knowing that they wanted a story, they entirely wanted to avoid the very cliche damsel in distress that's so very prevalent in early cartoons. What happened? So to counteract that, instead they made Cuphead a gambling addict. Gameplay elements went through multiple revisions, but the core of the game would always remain the same. This was thanks to the brothers' obsession with run and gun shooters, hitboxes, exploits, and also, another thing I forgot to say, animation. There we go, I'm a very professional boy. Are you listening, Siege? This is called a hitbox. Where are you going? The game also initially had a difficulty setting, which was completely scrapped in favor of instead having a simplified version of each fight. The caveat being that a simple fight wasn't the definitive fight, and more just kind of a practice run for when you know, get your shit pushed in. The ambition for Cuphead only grew to the point where the brothers wanted to break the Guinness World Record for number of bosses in a run and gun game. That is an obscenely specific world record. A weirdly specific world record that was held by the game Alien Soldier, which they did surpass, by the way, with a whopping further 11 bosses. Could have just stopped at 26. What was the last boss count?
25.
26.
Fuck you!
But the ambition with the absolutely insatiable want to break Sega's record meant that the Moldenhauers remortgaged their house to finish the game. I'm homeless, but have you played my game? In 2014 at E3, Cuphead was revealed at an Xbox press event. But the game was barely 40% finished. And though the trailer projected that the game would be ready for 2015, it wasn't. Then E3 2016 rolls around and Cuphead has a run and gun demo with a boot. Finally, September of 2017 rolls around and Cuphead is on the shelves. There it is. Critically across the board, everybody loved Cuphead. But a big sticking point was its difficulty. I mean, it's firm, but it's fair. You know, I feel like I gotta dig my heels in deeper. I've died 188 times so far, but I think I'm starting to get the hang of it. Whilst other critics thought, this game is too hard.
Jimmy, that's just the tutorial.
Cuphead sold over 2 million copies in its first 2 weeks and went on to win Best Game of 2017 for the Xbox. It also won Best Art Direction of 2017, as well as being nominated for like all of this. I thought in researching this game that it was fucking criminal, by the way, that the music you've been hearing for a large part of this video, which is Kringle Stingergan's music, it didn't win an award. But then, it turns out that the NAVGTR Awards, not only did it win Best Music, but it also won freaking everything. And it's like, yeah, fucking duh, there's a reason that 200,000 people a month are still listening to this soundtrack, and it's because it's just... So Cuphead, nothing could possibly come close to the level of quality that this fantastic cup of something served up. Yes? Well, it certainly didn't stop folks from trying. 3 years after the release of Cuphead in the vast nothing known as Spain, 6-0 Game Studios announced that they were launching a Kickstarter for a brand new game that they were calling Enchanted Portals. Game in which 2 wizard children, Neymar, Brabby, and Pingus fucking learn spells and shit and get sucked into a portal along with their cat, and they've got to travel through a bunch of different dimensions with a cyborg cow, and there's a witch. and it falls apart as quickly as me stood here talking about it. The campaign was officially launched in 2020, and anybody can tell you with a brain that it failed spectacularly. There it is. But did that stop this studio of just two men? After all, it didn't stop the brothers of Moldenhauer, did it? Much like the Moldenhauers fulfilled their vision, these two dreamers from Spain created their vision. What the fuck? Oh dear.
Oh dear, oh dear.
After its release in 2023, Enchanted Portals was compared to Cuphead for all the wrong reasons. Whilst the continuity of the rubber hose animation could in some ways kind of be looked at as endearing, the whole aesthetics of Enchanted Portals is far less coherent and consistent as Cuphead, and more like that scene in Tropic Thunder where Steve Coogan steps on a claymore. It's all over the place. You see, where the game starts out, the aesthetics are actually pretty close to what Cuphead was like. Characters have similar kind of rubber hose-esque animations. The art style is similar to the watercolored worlds of its inspiration. And if there's one thing you'll notice with the footage that is playing right behind me, it's that it's fucking barren. And I'll come back to that. Even in its very first world, the style immediately gets muddled. So there are these like really Fleischer style looking ghosts, right? That's fine, that's on brand. But then there are these armor suits and also these spiders. And if I can draw a better rubber hose spider design than this, there's a problem. And welcome back to the news at Now. Now we go live to our reporter in the field, Liam Landrover, with an update on our previous statement. Liam, what's the news?
Well, I've drawn this picture of a spider and I got a threatening email from Spain.
Liam, thank you.
I think my life is in danger.
Liam, thank you. Now, coming up are the headlines. Does subscribing to this channel make your knob massive? Throughout the entire game, there is a massive conflict in style. After the first run and gun section, because this game just carbon copies that from Cuphead, it's a run and gun, then a boss fight. Boss 1 starts out looking pretty fine, but then it just changes to this. I don't even know what this is. Then the game switches, they go through a port, it's a ship now, big space, long space, that's fine. Cuphead did the same thing and they stayed consistent with their art style, but there's no consistency here. Far be it from its only downfall, but if you went from playing something like Escape from Tarkov, and then it just suddenly became, fuck, ow, fuck, ooh, ow, tonal whiplash.
Now comes the part where we throw our heads back and laugh. Ready?
Ready!
Another huge pitfall of this dog shot is its sound design. Here's a short clip from Cuphead. Here is everything you just heard. Now, here is a clip from Uncharted Toilets. Here is everything you just heard.
That's it?
There's not even a quality little fanfare when you finish a level, like in Cuphead, with the knockout and bravo! In Atrocious Pickle, you just get to the end of a level and then...
That's it?
Sound design is incredibly important. It's why this works and this doesn't. And this is something that completely sinks Enchanted Portals, apart from the fact that Cuphead's world is this busy and Enchanted Portals is this empty. To steal what a critic said in reviewing Enchanted Portals, why would you settle for Aldi-style mimicry when you can have so much more? The best way to save Shrunken Penis's visuals is to look at it through a sort of edited lens, like this. But that then begs the question, if I can do this, why can't they? The Cuphead devs of MDHR knew that they couldn't make what they wanted for Cuphead in the year 2000. They knew that they couldn't force Cuphead to be what they wanted it to be by 2015. So they took the time and perfected what they wanted the game to be, to suit what their vision was in the first place. Enchanted Portals is a lesson learned. A lesson in taking your time, perfecting your vision, and releasing something that is at the standard of quality of the very thing that inspired you in the first place. Why do you think it took MDHR like 5 years to release the DLC, The Delicious Last Course, for Cuphead? It was revealed at 2018's E3, pushed back to 2019, and then pushed back again further to 2020 to relieve the pressure from the team to make sure that what they ended up putting out was quality. And then COVID happened and they had to push it all the way back to 2022, but that's... So that is the story of Cuphead and its disappointing step-nephew in sharpened pencil. Thank you for watching. I've been Stag. You as always have been wonderful. I want to thank my patrons just before we go. Maven, Casey, Barry the Awesome, and Owen Rico. If you want to support the channel, you can like this video, leave me a comment, and subscribe if you feel so inclined. If you want to support me any further, you absolutely can. Just follow the link in the description below. It'll take you to my Patreon, where you can support me for as little as $1 a month. Okay, so, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. I need to leave now.